What's going on, guys? We are back at it with another Gyeon product that we've been testing for a while now. For this video, we are going to show you how to install the MOHS EVO on your PPF. And we're going to be showing you the effects of it and how it actually makes your PPF even easier to clean. So stay tuned. So you're probably wondering, my new PPF, there's a lot of new PPF brands out there and they're coming out with new versions and all that. And one of the, new advancement in the past 5 years is that PPF companies have been top coating it with some layer of ceramic coating type that makes it hydrophobic. And it is awesome. However, it is factory coated, so it doesn't last as long as if you were to actually put a dedicated coating on top of it. We use Avery Supreme Defense PPF for our do-yourself kits that we sell. However, that has excellent beading, that has excellent sheeting. It is so easy to clean, but that probably lasts around 3 to 6 months, depending on how you take care of your car. And if you don't, it's gonna last even less. So this is actually rated for 3 years. There are products that are specifically for PPF or specifically for paint and stuff, but this actually works for both PPF and paint. I've tested it on both and it is so easy to install. And the reason why this is so easy to install is most of the brands that you'll see that's out there that does ceramic coating is going to be an SiO2 compound. And what that means is after you apply a coating, there's a very limited time for you to wipe it down, level it, and if you don't do it right, or if you don't do it on time, and if you have high humidity or high temperature or all these different variables, you could come up with what we call high point. A high point does not look good. It almost looks like a permanent smudge on your car. On a black car, it is the most awful thing that you can think of. So this is actually made out of not SiO2, but this main is polysiloxane. This makes it so much easier for someone like you, a do-yourselfer, to do this. So they say about 10 to 30 seconds, but honestly, some people have put it for like a minute just to see, and it's okay. You can wipe it down later. But today we're going to show you how this impacts your PPF if you install it on top of that. But before you do, click on the subscribe button. If you love learning about do-yourself projects for your Tesla and other vehicles out there, give us a subscribe. That helps us a lot to create more content. But let's get right into it. So before applying the ceramic coating, there is a prep process. And I say this with a lot of my videos, but prep is probably the most important. Actually, it is the most important process in PPF or ceramic coating. We are going to put a link below on the longer process of how to prep for really anything. And this is from our PPF course. But the first thing that you want to do is wash your car with a car wash shampoo. You could use anything that doesn't have some sort of like extra compound like wax, like car wash shampoo with wax or something. You want a very clean, biodegradable, something that will just kind of get all the dirt away. And then you want to wash it again, but this time you want to wash it with our prep wash or really any degreaser, right? And this process is really important. It strips away if you have wax or any other compound on your surface of the vehicle or the PPF. So the next part is going to be clay barring. And this process makes sure that you're using a light clay that we sell. And you want to go over your vehicle so that you're making sure that you're getting rid of the last minute contaminants on the surface. Once that's done, you want to make sure that you dry it. You could either dry it with a drying towel that we also sell, or you could also dry it with, blow dryer. And I recommend the Ego blow dryer. It works really well. It's battery operated. Once that step is done, you're ready to coat. I want to be very, very clear though. If you just installed, let's say, our do-yourself front PPF kit, or you just got PPF, then you don't have to do any of this process. If it is freshly wrapped with PPF, then you could skip all that process and you just need to do a quick wipe down right before you coat and make sure that it is dry. Let's get right into the car and start doing some coating. We have here 3 sections that we have for this science experiment. And the first one is going to be PPF plus MOHS EVO. And this is the only area that we're going to be coating. That's just going to be straight up PPF. And again, we're going to be using Avery Supreme Defense. Awesome. It's already coated with a top coat layer for hydrophobic properties as well. And then right here is uncoated, no PPF, just straight up paint. So we're going to be just coating this section. And one thing to note is the MOHS EVO actually just needs 1 layer in the last 3 years. You could do multiple layers, and if you want to do that, that's also fine, but you really just need 1. Before we get started for all coating, again, we did all the prep and it's all ready. We're gonna go ahead and use just water and alcohol. Just spray a little bit on the surface that you're gonna be doing it, and you're just gonna be wiping it down in motion, and then just turn it around. And whenever you're doing this, you wanna fold it into fours like this, so you have a lot of surface area, and you're just kind of gliding it. Instead of like, some people go like this and stuff, or like this, you don't wanna do that. You're losing a lot of evenness. So one pro tip is to kind of keep it even like so. And the recommended for this is always going to be 2 by 2. So what that means is split the hood into 4 quadrants. So you get one here, one there, and one over there. And then what you want to do is when you're actually coating, I'll give you an example. You use this side, this microfiber side. If I was doing this section right here, you want to create what we call a river. So after you have your ceramic coating on top, you just want to go all the way through and create the most saturated part, right? Because that's your first layer, and you create down the middle, and then after that, you go past that. And what you're doing is you're spreading that middle across all of that section. And then once you get to that point, you create a little, you clean up your quadrant. As soon as I apply, you should wait 10 to 30 seconds. And then after that, they recommend leveling it. And you don't want to overdo it. That's what they say in the instructions too. Is just kind of wipe it down. And then after that, you go back with this, and then you're buffing. And you just want to go in that same area, and then you're going to go ahead and grab all the materials. And then after that, you just want to look around and make sure that you don't have any smudges or anything, high points or any of the materials that you leave behind. And the best way is to kind of look through the light like this, and then you'll see some of those marks. And then after that, you just move on to the next section. For this purposes, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it in 1 by 1 section, so I can also show you how to blend it. If you're doing from, let's say, from here to here, how do you blend that area? Shake it, you know, it's been just sitting there. Highly recommend wearing gloves. All coatings, I like wearing gloves. Let's go ahead and give it a good, we're doing 1 by 1 section, so I'm just going to give you a smaller, but you're going to coat it. The few right away, it's going to take some time, and then it comes out a lot easier. You're going to go down the middle like this, and you see I create that, and then after that I can go like that. Okay, and then I clean up my edges, just like so. And during this process in ceramic coating, I'm going to just put this down real quick, and if you look closely, it's almost like the car is sweating. And they use that as a reference of, okay, that's when you should start wiping. All right, it's been about a minute actually, right? I'll let it sit for a long time. We're gonna go ahead and wipe it down. All right, you don't have to be crazy with it, and then you're just gonna buff it. Boom, and that is it. That's all you have to do. And this is where you kind of look through and just make sure that you don't have any materials. And if you do, just grab it. All right, some of these are actually not materials, it's actually bubbles. So I apologize for that. And this is why like you want to PPF a car right away, to be honest. I bought this used, it was messed up, like the whole paint. So I really needed a full restoration on and polish this up. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a good, you know, amount. And then, you know, if you were doing, I would do about double of what I just did in a bigger panel, right? Again, I'm gonna go down the river, and then you can spread that, and then after that, clean up your edges. And notice I went a little bit, I had an overlap right here. It was kind of like right here, I went a little bit over because you don't want to leave like a sliver of uncoated area. That's gonna be weird. You're gonna see it in the car wash where like this one area, the water just sits there. You can see right here already that it's sweating, it's beading. I see it, it's very obvious. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down. You're just gonna wipe it down real quick. You don't have to overdo it, okay? And then you're just gonna buff it right here. Cool. And when you get to this part, this connection, sometimes I kind of blend that, right? Making sure that the materials right here connect. That's pretty much the process, all right? So the recommended curing time for this is 12 hours. So after you coat it, like right now it's raining, I would not take this out and start driving away. Before you move on, I actually see an area right here that had some material, and it's hard because I have this tape around. You wouldn't have this tape around. And you just want to go through like this, right? Moving your head up and down, side to side, and you're looking for those material. And sometimes on a black car, you'll see it like a blemish or That's how you'll tell that you have some more material left. So make sure that you're wiping it off, okay? If you don't wipe it off, eventually it'll harden, and then that's where you get an actual high point. If you're not using this right away, this is a 50 ml bottle. You can do more than one car with this one. You could do several cars with this. Just make sure that you put the cap on and you store it in a dark place. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the no PPF coating section. That's never been coated, and we're just gonna do a quick beading test. And I'm just gonna, this is just water, and go ahead and do like 1, 2, 3. Let's do 3 squirts on every one of them. All right, 1, 2, 3. You can see the non-coated, no PPF area, the paint section. The uniformity of the beading is not there. And then you look at the PPF only, which does have that top coat with the hydrophobic properties. You can see massive beading over here. Again, this has been not very long, but let's go ahead and do it. From here to here, honestly, you're not gonna see that much of a difference. One thing too is that this is a brand new PPF. We just put this on this morning and it's been sitting here. So the top coat is fresh. Now, where does this vary? It varies with time. This is coated with the MOHS EVO, and this is supposed to last up to 3 years with 1 layer of coating. This is factory coated and will not last as long as the MOHS EVO or any other ceramic coating that you put on the PPF. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down. You go here, literally just stop. So I think this is my way of showing you the slickness. Like if I touch it with my finger, I'll be able to feel it, but you guys can't in a video. This one does not slide at all. This one slides a little bit. You can see some movement right there. And you go here, you can see a higher movement from the tape. So a lot of the coating has that property where it just kind of slides off. So hopefully that was a good demonstration as well. So one thing with this, again, you should wait 12 hours to do this. Now we're gonna be doing the sheeting test as well. We're just gonna put some water over that. Let's go ahead and do the same thing, no PPF, and just see 2, maybe like 2, 1, 2. And just watch how it reacts to the top surface of the paint. It created kind of like that random shape, and then after that, the bubbles stay. There's not a lot of beading going on. It just kind of stays there. It's gonna create water spots, right? The mineral deposits. And when you just leave it like this and you don't dry it, it's just bakes into it. And once it gets to a certain period, you actually have to polish it in order to get it off. We're gonna do it in the PPF. Check this out. This is cool. 1, 2. All right, so the difference here, look at this. A lot less water on the actual PPF. And you can see that some of the has enough volume right here that it's just traveling down. And there's a lot less water on the actual vehicle. On top of that, because it has that hydrophobic coating. And this is why a lot of people do ceramic coating. And I think there's a lot of like myth with that. Ceramic coating actually does not protect your car from like rock chips, okay? If you're wanting to do rock chips protection, you do a lot of highway driving, you gotta get PPF, okay? But if you are trying to keep your car clean and make it easier to clean and give it that nice wet look, then ceramic coating is the way to go. I haven't done anything to this, and you can see water is still traveling down as well. The last one is gonna be for PPS MOHS plus MOHS EVO, and 1, 2. All right, so if you look at this, honestly, it is so similar as far as the way it reacted. I mean, you can see the water just drop down, right, as it hits it. Let's try a little bit more water on both. See, no water left. Okay, I want to do the same. This is fun. Look at that. And then, again, one here. Yeah. And you can see stark difference between, you know, this one and these two. You already have a PPF. You've already invested in protecting your car. If you already have done that, it just makes sense to coat it. It's a very easy process. If you've already done all the prep work to do the PPF, then you could just coat it. And I think it's really, really worth it. And if you do it do-yourself, that's also even more worth it because you'll save a lot of money on top of having a protected car. So if you're one of our early buyers of our do-yourself PPF kit, we are gonna provide a pretty steep discount for this coating. Since you've already supported us from the beginning, we wanna pay back and give back to the community. So go to the Facebook group, the PPF Facebook group, where you can get help, and we're gonna put out a way for you to get a discount there. Hopefully this video helped you guys. This is, how to coat the PPF, but also why you should. And we want to make sure that you guys are informed before making any decisions. I don't like to say anything about PPF is going to be, the savior of your car and protect you from everything. But it does make it really, really easy to keep your car clean. And this is the reason why I recommend that. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead, and I should probably get rid of that, unless you think this looks good. But subscribe, and we'll see you later.